Okay, so today we are just doing a bit of a recap of where we're up to with these, well, 5 items on today's agenda. We're going to be looking at the Genesis Mint reaction so far, and the next thing we're going to be looking at is holding the floor price and what sort of incentives we can put in place to make sure that we've got a rock solid profile when all the new traffic comes, that we're ready for it. We'll be recapping the marketing we've been done to date so far, what we've done, where we're heading to next. We'll be talking about the competition winners and how that's going to be firstly sorted out and handled. So I'll have a bit of an update there, and we'll be taking a Q&A. So if you've got any questions today as they pop up, just pretty much, wait until we've covered a few things here on our agenda before maybe crowding in with questions. Hopefully we'll be answering a lot of those things that people have been asking in the general chat. So there's a fair bit to cover here today. Well, firstly, I'd like to say the Genesis Mint reactions so far have just been absolutely outstanding. If in any doubt, just take a scroll back through the general chat. The overall response has been absolutely sensational. I'm really chuffed as an artist to see that everything's been received so well. There's been very little comments along the lines of I'm disappointed, or gee, that wasn't what I was expecting. We've all been there. We've all been to those. If you've been in the NFT space for any time now, and this is not your first mint, that sometimes the reveal can be quite disappointment. It's like, whoa, all the marketing images were great, and now I've kind of got this one. Ooh, that was something I was definitely planning on avoiding. I did not want that to be people's reactions. I wanted everyone to go, wow, regardless of where this project goes, I have got a sick piece of art and I love it. And that's, generally speaking, that's been people's responses so far. So that's super amazing. So thank you to everyone who has minted so far. We've got about 334 of our 400 mints for Genesis so far. So there's still a few folk that are yet to come and mint, perhaps waiting for a good time for gas. Perhaps others deciding to hold and mint a little further down the track. There's no rush. Certainly, your mint pass is good to mint your Genesis and your OG at any stage of the game at this point. Okay, so let's not spend too much time glorying in looking at what we've done ourselves, but let's take a look at our next steps. We're going to be looking at the next slide, and that's holding the floor. We certainly need to improve that position right now. We've got a few there that are wanting to sell under floor. As of last check, I think there was somebody listing for 0.06 of an ETH, so that's pretty low. So what are we going to do about that? How are we going to get that raised? Should we be going out to sweep those up in sort of like a panic move, or maybe someone sees the benefit and that's maybe even been swept off the floor already? But we've got a really good suggestion from one of our community members, and we're going to take a look at that next slide now. Okay, this is coming from Magic Hat, who's a very experienced NFT spaceman. He's been involved in a lot of projects, and he's had a tremendous amount of very valuable suggestions and information he's been sharing with us, both in the general chat and also inside of our mod chat group. So super shout out to Magic Hat for that. And what we have here on the left-hand side, you can see that there's a pink box with what looks like a pathway there. This is coming from another project. I'm not particularly sure what that project is, but perhaps maybe some would know what it is. And it pretty much goes like this, as you can see. In fact, what we'll do, we'll actually make it a bit easier for you to see. So let's just pop out into that as a larger picture. We'll even go in a little closer too. Right. Okay, this is titled Road to Mint Out. At every 50 mints, the following are given away to those who have either never listed, have delisted, or are listing higher than 0.33 ETH floor their NFT. So as you can see on the left-hand side here, we have their particular place in the sandbox, it looks like. So they've got land, and at this point in time they had minted 2,100. They're suggesting that every time they mint 50, right, they're going to reward the community as long as they fit this criteria. They've either never listed, they have delisted, or they're listing higher than 0.33 ETH as a floor. So, and this here is Cryptodes 4950, currently valued at about somewhere around the $10,000 mark in USD. So quite an amazingly hefty giveaway there. And as you can see, moving on further down, once another 50 have been minted following this pathway, that means that they have now minted another 100 since then. They're then going to be giving away a doodle worth about 20,000 USD. If we scroll down, you can see it just keeps going on and on. Every time there are another 50 minted, right, they're giving away a Bored Ape Kennel Club, and then a Gambling Ape. Now these are all really expensive NFTs. I'm not suggesting that we're anywhere near in the ballpark of being able to afford such giveaways at this point in time. We'll get onto some details of that in just a moment. But let's just go back to the main slide if everyone has seen that. The thing that we need to do to make sure that when we do get valuable traffic coming into our Discord is that they don't get there and say, oh, let's check out the floor price on these Genesis. Oh, I see. The floor is quite low. Okay, yep, look, I might bounce from this one. That would be a terrible waste of our marketing dollars to find our Discord, our community in such a state. So in order to make sure that we don't end up there, we've got to tidy up our profile on OpenSea. Now, without, as I said, going in and forcing people to really do anything, that would be a breach of OpenSea's terms and conditions and their policies. In other words, commanding people to sweep the floor, etc. What we're doing, we're suggesting something completely outside of, breaching any of their terms and conditions, and that is running our internal competition to incentivize people to reconsider about what they want to do with their valuable Genesis bowerbirds. Now, exactly how this one worked out for this other particular project, I think it worked pretty well for them. There was certainly a project that was much further down the track than us, but I think everyone gets the general idea. Somebody might like to just mute their microphone there. Let's see. Who might that be? Okay, could be that one or this one. Okay, you guys are muted, sorry. Let's go back there. So this is a suggestion only, as you can see at the bottom of the screen there. I'm not saying this is what we definitely have to do. Hey, we're opening this up to the community. So give us your feedback on what you think this idea is like. And certainly let us know what sort of NFTs that you'd like to see, filled in this box here. And guys, at $10,000 a pop, $20,000 a pop, yep, we can't afford that right now. But bearing in mind that 50 NFTs at 0.15 ETH that are sold, then that would represent 10,000, represent about 30% of the revenue raised from selling 50 at 0.15 ETH. So look, it's not completely out of the question, but we've got to manage this thing moving forward. So let's move on to our next slide, which has to do with what we've spent so far. Yes. This brings us to a very valuable point. Now, I know there was some concern by people going, oh, I'm spending a bit too much money on my gas here. It's like, that was only from a few people. Most people, they got it. You were getting a free Genesis, which originally when you signed up for a mint pass, you were under the impression that you were going to be spending 0.15 of an ETH, and fair enough. In order to reward our early adopters when we had things that went wrong with our mint pass sale, we not only had to do one mint pass sale but two, and so to keep everybody happy, we made the executive decision to let everybody have their Genesis for free if they had bought their Mint Pass so far. So that cost us big time, right? If you add that up there, we had 400 early bird Mint Passes all go out missing the revenue, the future revenue we would be raising in the future of $240,000, roughly at today's price of around about $4,000 for 1 ETH. We would be having that money to spend on marketing and building the community. But you know what? There wouldn't have been a community perhaps left if everyone thought, oh, this project's over, it's time to bounce. I'm just going to go and put my Mint Pass on there, sell it under floor, and move on. As we've stated from the start, this is not a quick flip project. Look, people can be forgiven for turning up here inside our Discord and feeling like, oh, they're in the wrong place. I was looking for a quick flip, because let's face it, a lot of what we are getting from YouTube and from YouTube influencers, has been an education to go out there and look for something that's going to 10x in 2 weeks. Buy 2, flip 1, and then move on, hold, and leave. So, we're watching sort of in a very perplexed manner. We started with about 3,000 people flooding into our Discord there from just 2 viral situations. One was a tweet and the other was a video. And, a lot of people came in, and most people have stuck around as they've found that, firstly, the art is something that is, exceptionally different to, the current flavor of the month out there. And secondly, the utility in this project that is going to be, giving back to those that hold and hold long term is very achievable and extremely attractive. The idea of, receiving a bowerbird, a male bowerbird, a female bowerbird, holding those 2, receiving an egg, gaining tokens each day, to trade within our ecosystem, and on the mission to find the next Beeple. I mean, wow. Who wouldn't want to wake up in a few months' time and realize that one of the art drops that they'd been given through our community, our private community of elite collectors and emerging artists, was something of, an extreme worth, several ETH. I mean, I know I would be extremely excited. And this is going to go on as long as we continue on our roadmap activation pathway. And, it's very important that we get through to a complete sellout of our 10,101 bowerbirds. So that's just what we've been spending so far giving back to you. But what have we spent in real dollars and cents? Okay, there's been a few questions of people in the background perhaps grumbling a little, and I get it. If you're doing some marketing and it's not really working all that well, then obviously that looks like you're not doing any marketing. Right? We have spent money on YouTubers with some YouTube videos. You can see there on our list on this side here. We got a really good, paid promotion from the Cowboys of Crypto. It was a 30-minute promotional video, and if anyone's watched that, the reactions have been great. It gave us an excellent platform to tell everybody, at least everyone watching that video, what we're all on about. We've been in with the Nifty World crew. Beck's a former BBC journo. Right, we've had a paid shout-out video there as a sponsor on one of her most recent videos, which was would have been Sunday evening, or Monday, depending on which part of the world you're in. That was also tied into a joint hosting on their Twitter Spaces. And once again, there was a paid promo. It ran for 2 hours, and we got to speak out to people, from 80 different places around the world. So there was a mixture of artists and those interested in the NFT space and collectors. So a valuable time spent there. How many people have come into our Discord since? It's very hard to tell. I've also spent another 2 hours with Hashlips in his Twitter Spaces. Now, Hashlips, as you'll may or may not be aware, he is firstly a legend, and he has been the let's call him the coding genius behind taking my artwork as hand-drawn paintings and enabling us here in the Bowerbird Collective to turn those into 10,000 beautiful, unique paintings as you've seen. So I've spent time, 2 hours inside of his Twitter Spaces, and the reaction there from artists around the globe, was they were blown away. And after all, we are reaching out to artists, and we've got a hit list of people that are already active and have Twitter followings that are in the thousands. So we've got a good list of artists to start with, but really we've got to focus on the elephant in the room right now, and that is tidying up our act, working together as a community, helping each other to get our universally beneficial goal, and that is a complete sellout of what we're doing, so we can move on to these next stages. We've also, been spending money with Twitter influencers. You'll see on the next slides just what that's cost us. We've also found that, that has not been a really great spend of money. Some of them have like 500,000 followers on Twitter, and the people that you've seen come in through the Discord numbers, if you've been noting, the member counter on the top left-hand part of the screen there, those numbers have fluctuated up and down. Well, a lot of these people were just seeking, a quick flip or winning some sort of a prize, and when they, were dissatisfied and couldn't find that, they were gone. So, we're living and learning here. You can also see that we've, reached out to a range of other smaller YouTubers, and you can see these details inside the announcement channel where you can find these full links. We've been doing honorary Bowerbirds and tweet raids. So far we've done Alex Becker, Elliot Trade, Snoop Dogg, Vincent Van Dough. We've got more planned, which we'll see on the next slide. So let's, before we get to that, let's just take a look and see what we've been spending here when it comes to Twitter influencers. You can, slow this video down and check these details out later, but, these are some smaller ones, right? Some larger ones with, larger followings in the 200,000 mark. There's been about 5 of them here through these paid promotions. You can check those details out. But, just in sort of full transparency, we're just letting you know what we've been doing. And so what are we doing next? Right. We've got some more honorary Bowerbird and tweet raids planned. We're going after Paul Fisher. Fish, he's a DJ. He's a friend of ours over here from Mount Beach, and he's a major influencer with millions of followers. We've got Gary V and VeeFriends in our targets. Right, he's got a huge following in this space, and he's an artist himself. He's very outspoken. We want to kind of get an interview with him. We're working on that. And if you've got any other, people that we should be looking at, just, hey, this is the time, drop it in the text lounge and let us know who have been your, influencers that have brought you in to this space. Who were you watching on a regular basis on YouTube or following on Twitter? They're the sort of people we need to be reaching out to. And so, yeah, we're all ears here, people. Currently, what's happening, what's hot on the agenda right now, we're reaching out to BitBoy and their marketing team. It's been a while, and you're probably thinking this is a broken record, hearing me talk about this again and again, but the latest I've had back from them, they're making us sit tight in their Telegram. Yep, another one of these crazy sort of programs, like, what the heck's Telegram? How does it work? I don't know. I'm a 60-year-old artist. Why do I have to learn these things? But anyway, look, they are still interested. We've got a great profile, a family project, a mature artist with, 40 years experience, fully doxed, and a great looking, utility / roadmap. Yeah, heck yeah, of course they're interested. But, that's not all we're doing. We're not sitting on our hands just thinking, oh, that's the be-all and end-all. We're reaching out to other people. Brett Malinowski from the Magic Mushroom Clubhouse. I'm a big fan of his YouTube channel, and he's always telling us, hey, guys, reach out to us. Jump in a Discord. We're always, willing to look for the next big thing in the NFT space. I know he's an art fan, and if you've been a subscriber to his channel, you know that he responds to quality art, and especially a fully doxed team. So if there's any way, we can get in there, we're working on it. Right now, they've been going through their own Genesis launch. And look, there's been a few hiccups there, just as we've had here, as everyone's experienced. Things don't always go to plan, so they're kind of busy right now, but we're patient people. Anyway, look, and of course we've got some serious holders right now. Franklin owns 30 Bored Ape Yacht Club, amongst other punks. We've got Boys Noise, a huge international DJ, right? These are people that can help us out. And as I said, if you've got any other suggestions, drop them into the lounge text. Let's get going and find out who we need to be getting in front of. Okay, guys, we are moving on now to our competition winners update. Right, so the first comp, the most important one at this point in the game to start with, is the physical art. Who is going to win this wonderful piece? Well, it was opened only to those that minted and held, right, their early bird mint passes. If that is not you and you're not in that group, well, commiserations, I'm sorry, you're not in the running. But we now have to go through and sort through the contract and find out those wallet addresses that minted from the very first EB mint that hold 3. That still currently hold 3. So there's a bit of sorting out to do. We will get that list sorted over the next couple of days, so sit tight on that one. We will be getting this out to the rightful owner, and of course, we will be contacting them once we have run through, which will be a public display like I did last time, using a spreadsheet. It seems to be the fairest way. I know everyone's seen these raffle bots. It's like everyone's listed in there, spin the dial and out comes the winner. Heck, that could be just some sort of a con. I'm not up on these raffle bots, and I guess you really should be questioning how legitimate are those things. Is this guy running something that's kind of a fake? The best way that I see is just doing a live spreadsheet where we have a formula that applies a random number, as you may have seen if you looked at our last contest video there, how we discovered and came out with a winner. It gives everybody in the list a random number between 1 and 100. And it was decided before we spun the dial that the person who came up the most number of times was we were going to do 3. There was only 5 or 6 people in that raffle. We would add up the number of people who scored a 1 for being the closest to 50. And when that tally, was tallied at the end of 3 spins, we found our winner. And that was Vindamoney, and I'm sure he's watching this now, if not picking up on it later. So that's the way we're going to come up with the winner for that one. And any of our raffles, I think that's a great idea. Once again, I'm all ears. If somebody's got a suggestion for a better, more streamlined, more transparent way of doing these raffles, I'm all ears. Let me know. Hit us up in the text channel there with your recommendations. But, as I said, I'll be doing it live online. You can actually get the link to the actual spreadsheet. It'll be something that you can only just look at and not, obviously comment or edit. So there's no one else except me that will have control over that spreadsheet. But you can watch me do it live, and we'll be finding our winners that way. So anyway, that's an update on that. And of course, those wondering, has there been, 200 sales of the Genesis, and who has won that? That raffle will be dealt with in the same fashion, but one at a time, folks. Okay, it's time to move on to the Q&A. We're approaching the around about a half an hour mark, and I want to make sure that this video doesn't go on any longer than 1 hour. So, do we have any questions in the general chat that we can be taking up from, if anyone is listening there that can speak up? Mods, speak now. Okay. Back to me on the screen. Okay. Not hearing anything come through, so I will take a look myself. Okay. yeah, just things about raffle, when and time, etc. I think we've covered that right now. Let's head back here. Well, if anyone would like to take to the microphone, don't be shy. Now's your time to speak up. I know we've got some big fans listening in right now, especially our best mate Hondo. Hello to you today, my friend. These awkward silences. Okay, well, ooh.
Hey Greg, how are you?
Hey,
This is
Hondo.
Hondo. How are you doing?
Man, I am doing great. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. I'm just eating a little bit of dinner here.
Ah, yes, it approaches that time of the day. What part of the world are you from there, Hondo?
Yeah, I'm in Chicago, south suburbs.
Okay. Yeah, Southie boy. Okay,
Yeah.
that was my best impression of, what was that show on Netflix? Can't recall now. Sort of a gangster guy from, originally from South Chicago, living in LA. They had a boxing gig going on. What was his name? Don't know.
Not familiar with that one.
Yeah. So what's been happening, Hondo?
No, not too much. Just trying to keep busy, pushing this in front of as many people as I can find.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Getting active on Twitter, retweeting, creating my own tweets, and getting a lot of Discord rooms. Just trying to get the word out.
Excellent. That's what we need. That's the spirit. You know, it's this is a community, and we are all in this together. And those that want to emulate somebody, just listen to Hondo. He's out there. He's working the floor. He's doing all he can to get us to the next steps. And as I said, we are going to get there, and we are going to get traffic in here. It's got to be the right traffic. It's got to be the right people. We're not going to be repeating those little flurries with the fly-in and fly-outs, as I call them. Here in Australia, we have a big mining industry. You may be aware, or maybe not aware. Iron ore, coal. A dirty thing, coal. But a lot of our industry in the western part of the country, in Western Australia, is based around an economy of fly-in, fly-out. People from the east coast fly to the west coast. They spend maybe a week or two, sometimes 4 or 6 weeks, and they fly back home again to the east coast. Fly in, fly out, I call them, and they're the sort of people that we don't really need inside our Discord. Fluctuating the numbers up and then down again. We're really looking for people who dig this kind of project, and it's a bit of a mission. And as people have been pointing out there in the chat, in the general chat, in the mod chat, that sometimes projects take quite a while and sit there perhaps for weeks or months. I hope it's not going to be that long, but eventually something takes a turn in the road, and wow, now they're worth a lot of money. Some people call it luck. Some people call it just out there and grinding. We are ready, right? We're technically ready to go, to a Dutch auction when the time's right. So it's been quite an amazing amount of drain on my own personal time and lack of sleep time these last 14 days. I think I added up. There's about 280 hours I've put in over the last 14 days. That's what a 20-hour day looks like. I'd heard of people doing that, and it's just like, what? That's crazy. What are you doing that for? Well, man, it's my own business, so I got to do it. It's like, well, you're only getting 4 hours. Well, now I know what that's like. And that's another thing I just want to point out, that one of the things we're going to be doing to help emerging artists to, explode into the NFT space is remove this freaking headache of doing what I've just done over these last, 3 weeks now. The technical side of it is just diabolical. I mean, I've been involved with computers and technology for 26 years now, and we're diving sort of ever deeper into the challenges as they've arisen. But I've never experienced anything quite like this. so many points of failure, so many speed bumps that were actually roadblocks, to anything continuing. But with good old perseverance and just hard work, we've made sure to get there. But in all honesty, if somebody had asked me, hey Greg, look, I've got this project, like it's an NFT thing, man, I'm just looking for an artist. Do you want to come along and join in? I would have said, oh, okay, that sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, heck yeah. Well, if I can make some money, man, yeah, what is it? And they said, well, I'll tell you what, here's the deal. You're going to be spending 20 hours a day for probably 3 weeks straight to make sure that everything runs technically correct, dealing with teams in the United States, Australia, parts of Europe, covering Romania, Germany, and the United Kingdom. And that pretty much gets you around the clock in 3 different time zones, which, as we add 3 8s, they happen to be 24. Doesn't leave a lot of time for sleep. Now, as I said, if someone had told me that that's what I was in for, the answer would have been, no way. So the door, I'm about to walk through it. Goodbye. I'm glad nobody did tell me, right? Because, as I said, it would have been a really easy decision. There's no way I'm doing that. That's just ridiculous. But you know what? Doing it. Committed. Had to do it. It's like, if you start something, you've got to finish it, that's always been how I've been brought up. If a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well, my father used to say. So, come what may, it has to be done. But you know what? As I said, I wouldn't be recommending this to any emerging artists like, hey, come and do this. I was in one of the Twitter spaces there just last week. I can't remember which one it was, but there was a young artist in there, and he was saying, "Oh, look, I love the idea of NFTs. I'm gonna quit my day job and just live off of NFTs. It's pretty easy, isn't it?" And it's just like, well, you want to know the truth? So part of what we're doing here inside the Bowerbird Collective is setting up an environment that does make it a whole lot easier for artists to join this space. So when we look at our roadmap and what we're actually going to be investing our money, our staffing, and apart from our outreach to artists, around the globe, it's really important that we're actually going to set up a proper launching pad for them. Sure, it's going to cost them some money, and there's going to be a big commission taken by our community to provide this service for them. But, when you've got to get smart contractors, you've got to get web developers, you've got to get, your marketing in order, right? You've got to handle your Discord and have management there. Artists coming in fresh are going, what the heck are you talking about, man? I just draw pictures, I paint paintings, like what is all this? So, a major obstacle to getting any artist from emerging to, over the line and exploding is that speed bump, hump, whatever you want to call it, that, all of us on the team here, everyone's been working tirelessly, around the clock to get this to happen. And, if you've been involved with any launches yourselves, I can just see you sitting there going, yeah, nodding. I know exactly what he's talking about. But if you haven't, and you think, oh, it sounds pretty easy, it ain't. I'm telling you from experience. And so, part of what we're going to be providing is exactly that, making it an easy experience, an easy entry point for artists, coming into the NFT space. Because, look, it's crazy technology that's going on with the blockchain, smart contracts, minting dApps. It's big and it's complicated. That's the only way really to describe it. And, once again, if you've been in the NFT space for longer than a few minutes, you'll know that some launches just fail. Technically things go wrong. Not the first time that, I've been involved in a failed launch. I mean, just look at the Boonji project. They had a major stuff up on their hands and it cost them a week. Were people happy about that? Heck no. Did they end up selling out? Heck yes. They had 150,000 people inside of their Discord, so that kind of helped, I'm sure. But the fact is, this is a brand new space. The tech is crazy, crazy complicated. Just sitting down trying to figure out exactly how we were going to do the mint pass, where you could mint a Genesis, save 1 OG or save 2 OGs. Right? I sat there with the text one night, and seriously, it was like trying to develop a rocket fuel. There were so many options and obstacles and reverse loops that we had to deal with. And here's one, just one in particular. Let's say we did allow people to just mint the Genesis for free and then hold on to minting their OGs if they were an early bird pass holder and they had 2 OGs. There'd be nothing stopping them for putting that mint pass, because it's not burnt, it still exists, putting it for sale back on OpenSea, unbeknownst to the person who would buy that when they go to mint their Genesis, like, what? The Genesis is gone? I've been ripped off. So we quickly realized that that was not going to be an option. I know a lot of folk had questions like, oh, I want to burn 1, but I don't want to burn all. I don't want to claim 1. I want to claim 2, 3. It's like it was a matter of impossibility if we were going to in any way have any integrity about secondary market sales. So it had to be, look, here's the deal. You bought the mint pass. It cost you 0.08 ETH. It entitles you to 3 NFTs. And now, originally it was an exclusive stab at the 0.15 ETH for a Genesis, which turned into, hey guys, we're going to reward your patience. You can mint those for free. That was the offer there, and so we realised that, look, we've probably given enough, and the smoothest, fastest way possible. But that took 3 hours of going over just a whole range of different options. I guess it's just easy to say that now, but in the middle of the night, when you're dealing with somebody on the other side of the world and you're sleep deprived. It's no mean feat to come up with what we did. So hugely complex. This was not just create a smart contract and let's just go and mint that puppy. We had the big obstacle, and that was trying to avoid gas wars. And from all intents and purposes, we've achieved that. That objective has been achieved. Sure, there was a high gas price, but when you divided it up over 12 NFTs. It sure brought the average cost to mint 1 down very, very low, and most people figure that out pretty quickly. Well, guys, look, it's been 40 minutes now. Unless anyone's got any questions, I might just end the session now. Is there?
Yeah, Greg, I got a question.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Hondo.
Hondo here again. Yeah, I just wonder, are you still planning on going ahead with dropping these female birds, regardless of whether we sell out this Genesis, the 1,000 Genesis?
Yeah, no. If you take a look at our roadmap there, Hondo, the females come after a complete sellout of our first male bowerbirds. And just
okay, so all 10,000.
Yeah, now that's a good question, and that's one of the questions people have had in the past. Like, whoa, what are you doing trying to sell 10,000? Like, why don't you consider dropping the supply? Sure, that's an option. We're open to that. If we cannot build the attraction of our audience, to be absolutely frothing, as we call it down here in Oz, frothing, mate. If people aren't frothing over it and climbing over the top of each other with FOMO at our 10,000, then sure, we'll consider bringing that supply down, which would mean burning our precious bowerbirds, but it would increase the value of the remaining supply. We could cut it in half for that matter. But pardon me, the thing is, it's certainly an option on the table. But we do have to get through the complete sellout of our bowerbirds, our male bowerbirds, before we move to the female bowerbirds, because that's an entire new collection that I've got to create from scratch. They're not made yet. These things take a long time. It took me a month to create the first male bowerbird. So just to give you an idea of how long it takes to create over 250 paintings, which, incidentally, can make, as I pointed out there in somebody's question in the chat earlier today, we could possibly create 198 million unique paintings, but of course we're not going to be selling that many, and nor will we be making any more than those 10,101. That's it. There will be no more of these bowerbirds. In fact, as you point out, and as may be the case, it might be a reduced supply. It might be the best thing for the community to move forward to our next activation stage of the roadmap, which is the female bowerbirds. But they're still sitting as little baby eggs in the nest right now before we get there. but thanks for the question, Hondo. That's something a lot of people have been asking.
All right, very good.
Thank you. Okay, I see we've got Magic Hat. Maybe you've just joined us. Maybe you've been here for a while. I'm not quite sure. Let me see. I'll scroll down on the list there. Okay. Magic Hat, have you got anything you'd like to ask? I know you've been a super active member of our community with some tremendous suggestions and putting in a lot of work as a mod behind the scenes. Man, super grateful for what you've been doing for us all here, as everybody should be, whether they're aware or not of the work you've been doing. So we'd love to hear from you if you want to speak up, if you can at this time. If you can't, that's cool as well. Okay, I'll take silence as an answer. That's cool. Devo Freak, how's it going, man? Loving your art there you sent me there. That was pretty cool. Very inspiring. I like your approach. Very nice.
Hey, Devin, are you there?
Yeah, he might be getting a cuppa. Okay, no.
I'm here. I'm drinking some tea outside.
There you go. I was right. Cup of tea.
That's my nephew, Greg.
I know. Yes, we've been chatting.
He's a great guy.
So, what's been happening, Devo? Have you got any pearls of wisdom for us? Any feedback?
For wisdom, don't drink liquor and beer at the same time.
Okay, I like that.
Good advice.
No, I mean, I'm super excited about the project. I love my birds, so that's great.
Excellent. Good to
Really,
hear.
really interested to see what's happening in the future. That's all.
Thank you, Devo. That's super sweet. Okay, guys. Well, look, it's been about 45 minutes now. Unless anyone's got any burning questions, things that haven't been answered already, I think we might just end the video there, and I'll get this processed and up on YouTube. It takes a few hours because they're quite big files, but look out for it. And if you're watching this replay, thanks for picking it up at a later date, and it will be found in the same place as the announcement from earlier today. Okay, guys, just Cuckoo! I love that one. Whoever came up with that, that's so cool. I've been dying to do that, like in person. Like, cuckoo! Yep, crazy artist. That's me. Anyway, cheers from down under here. It's a Saturday morning for us. A bit of a funny old weather day out there. It's not a particularly nice sort of weather day. Maybe if you're in the northern hemisphere, it could be a little bit similar. It's quite warm, but yeah, a bit overcast, a bit windy. The ocean's a bit on the wild side. Okay, thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for watching, and we'll get you back in the Discord soon. Bye for now.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Bye.